Welcome back as we continue to dig into the Bible. We're continuing in Genesis. We're picking up in chapter 20. We're going to see a little interesting encounter that's going to give you maybe some weird flashbacks, maybe if you want to keep your fingers in both chapter 20 and chapter 12 of Genesis, you might be able to start seeing some parallels. But let's take a look. Genesis chapter 20, starting at verse 1. From there, Abraham journeyed toward the territory of the Negeb and lived between Kadesh and Shur. And he sojourned at Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarai, his wife, "She is my sister." And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech. Is this already, sounding familiar? Okay. God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, "Behold, you are a dead man, because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is a man's wife." Yeah, this should sound familiar already, right? Yeah. Now, Abimelech had not approached her. Okay, so Abimelech is still innocent, and he's going to profess his innocence. Here we see it. So he said, "Lord, will you kill innocent people? Did he not himself say to me, 'She is my sister'?" Yeah, that's what he did. And she herself said, "He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and the innocence of my hands, I have done this." Then God said to him in the dream, "Yes, I know that you have done this in the integrity of your heart, and it was I who kept you from sinning against me. Therefore, I did not let you touch her. Now then, return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, so that he will pray for you, and you shall live. But if you do not return her, know that you will surely die, you and all who are yours." Okay, this is just strange in the moment. God is protecting Abimelech. This is great. God keeps him from sinning. Abimelech is probably very grateful at this point. But it's very interesting that God refers to Abraham as a prophet. Okay. Well, he speaks on behalf of God to others because he is a follower of God. What seems to be a rare few in these days. But here's the promise, is that Abraham, who is passing off his wife to this man and, in a sense, leading him. No, well, not in a sense. Forget it. He's leading this guy into the potential of getting into trouble with God. But then God directs him back to Abraham and says, "Well, this man who's a prophet, he will pray for you if you return his wife to him." I'm sure this just sits weird in our heads, but this is God moving pieces around and drawing Abimelech closer to him, perhaps it would seem, using a situation that, honestly, Abraham, I mean, come on, guys. Dude, you've done this once already. You've caused trouble with this once already, and he's doing it again, and yet God is still using it to the benefit of Abraham and others, it would seem. Okay, continuing, verse 8. So Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told them all these things. That'd be an interesting thing to explain, right? And the men were very much afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us?" Now that's the question of the hour. I would also ask the question, "Abraham, what's the matter with you?" But okay, what have you done to us? "And how have I sinned against you?" Oh, this is a good question. What did I do to deserve this? How have I sinned against you, that you have brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? In other words, you're leading me into trouble here. Why is this happening? You have done to me things that ought not to be done. That is a very direct point. Abraham is kind of getting lectured here, and he should. It is a strange thing that he is doing. It is a reprehensible thing, I would say. And Abimelech said to Abraham, "What did you see that you did these things?" Abraham said, "I did it because I thought, there is no fear of God in all this place, and they will kill me because of my wife." Sounds familiar again? This was the concern he had before. Besides, She is indeed my sister, the daughter of my father, though not the daughter of my mother. What a technicality here. And she became my wife. So she's both. That's my half sister. Oh, yeah. And it's also my wife. So I told you the truth, but well, okay, yes, I misled you because I didn't share that last part. And when God caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, "This is the kindness you must do to me. At every place to which we come, say of me, he is my brother." Then Abimelech took sheep and oxen and male servants and female servants and gave them to Abraham and returned Sarah, his wife, to him. And Abimelech said, "Behold, my land is before you. Dwell where it pleases you." To Sarah he said, "Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver." Interesting that he's now referring to her husband as her brother. I mean, it's just mixing all these things together. He is both husband and half brother, which culturally for us seems particularly strange, not nearly as odd culturally then. It not the kind of a thing that would have caused the same kind of concern and potential alarm that we would have. So kind of set that part of things aside. All right, continuing. I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It is a sign of your innocence in the eyes of all who are with you, and before everyone you are vindicated. Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, and also healed his wife and female slaves, so that they bore children. For the Lord had closed all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. So, interestingly, it seems as if in the midst of this, God has drawn Abimelech closer to him and has used this very strange repeat pattern. Notice that the deal that Sarah was asked to go with on this is that this is going to be something. Maybe this is only the 2 times that he's done it. It's possible this is only the 2 times that we have it recorded. Has he done this many more times? Has Abraham repeatedly passed off his sister, his wife, as his sister, excuse me, truthfully and yet deceptively all at the same time? It's interesting that God blesses this, that in the midst of this, each time God blesses Abraham, despite the fact that honestly he behaves a little cowardly, but God uses this, and he uses in our lives, even the dumb things we do, even the things that are maybe done out of our own cowardice, done foolishly, done in ways that are not helpful for ourselves or shouldn't be on the surface. And yet God makes great use out of things. He's in control of all things. That's the great blessing here. And so, weird story, strange little bit, but there it is. Genesis chapter 20. God bless. Have a great week. And we'll see you next time when we dig into chapter 21.